أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome everyone to the second part of our family Kahoot competition. This is going to be based on episodes 6 through 10, majority of which were about the four Imams. And then the last lesson was about the true believers. So inshallah, we'll go ahead and get started. I do need to share my screen. Without further ado, let's get into it. Bismillah. Question 1. What city was Imam Abu Hanifa born in? Mecca, Medina, Kufa, Basra. Very good. Majority of the teams got it right. Imam Abu Hanifa was born in Kufa. Ooh, right away we have the rivalry from last week. The Qamars with Al-Kufa in second place. Plenty of questions to go. Abu Hanifa was born in a time where blank was prevalent in the city of Kufa. Very good, very good. Correct answer was knowledge. Kufa was a center of knowledge at the time. All right, let's keep going. Question 3. In his teenage years, Abu Hanifa used to debate others in matters of. Ooh, wow. So, when Imam Abu Hanifa was a teenager, he was actually extremely interested in Aqidah, which is Islamic creed and beliefs. And so he actually used to spend the majority of his time debating people in Aqidah and researching the topic as well. Um, so only a Khula team got that question right. Keep in mind also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the way Kahoot works is the faster you lock your answer in, the more points you're eligible to get. So do keep that in mind. Question 4. What is the first name of Abu Hanifa? Very good. About half the teams got it. The correct answer was An-Nu'man. This was something Mufti Niyaz mentioned, I think, very early in the video. Top 5 shaking up a bit. Khuga team still on top. Question 5. Which Sahaba was sent to Kufa as a scholar to teach the people in that region? Which Sahabi? MashaAllah, good job. Most of the teams got the correct answer, which is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu an. Top 5 shaking up a bit, but the Khuga team still in first place. Question 6. Abu Hanifa was born blank years after the death of the Prophet ﷺ. Read the question carefully. Very good, very good. So this was the way the question was worded could have been slightly tricky because Abu Hanifa was born 80 years after the Hijrah, but it says it says after the death of the Prophet ﷺ, which occurred in the 10th year of Hijrah. So you would subtract 10 from the amount, and the correct answer is 70. Well done. Omar family up in the third place. Question 7. Abu Hanifa spent 18 years studying fiqh with this famous teacher. Ooh, only 2 answers right off the bat. Yes, and the correct answer is Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman. And again, this is something Mufti Niyaz mentioned in his episode about Imam Abu Hanifa. Top 4 shaking up a bit. Let's keep going. Question 8. It is estimated that Abu Hanifa performed Hajj at least blank number of times. Very good, very good. Imam Hanifa, I believe Mufti Niyaz said Imam Hanifa would be in the habit of making it almost every year, and so that's how, mashallah, he was able to get at least 50 Hajj, which is incredible. Sikandar family making into the top 5. Al-Khuga team still on top. Question 9. Imam Abu Hanifa had approximately blank members in his council to discuss and derive rulings. Ooh, a lot of guesses here. The correct answer was 40. I believe Mufti Niyaz mentioned this towards the end of the video, where he had a council of scholars from a lot of different fields, including fiqh and Quran and Arabic and Hadith, and together they would be able to come to rulings. Question 10. I accidentally skipped the scoreboard. Imam Malik sat in the circle of this teacher for 20 years. Imam Malik sat in the circle of this teacher for 20 years. Very good. Correct answer is Rabia al-Rai. This now we're talking about Imam Malik. So this will be the episode 7. Let's keep it moving. Question 11. Regarding physical appearance, Imam Malik was very similar to which Sahabi? Excellent, excellent. The correct answer is Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu an. Dr. Shadi mentioned that Imam Malik was tall, wide. He had light skin, yellowish hair, which eventually turned white, and that became long white hair, but he was bald on top. And Dr. Shadi mentioned that was very similar to the description of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu an. Ooh, top 5 shaking up a bit, but top 3 staying the same for now. Question 12, true or false? Malik ibn Anas stayed in Medina his entire life and did not seek knowledge elsewhere. True or false? Very good. Correct answer is true. Keep in mind, though, that while he did stay in Medina, people would come visit to study with him from various places, and through their questions, he was able to gain an understanding of the knowledge in their areas as well. So he was well versed in knowledge outside of Medina too. Bit of change in the top 5, but top 3 staying the same. Question 13. Which of the following is the famous book of Imam Malik? 6 teams lock their answer in quickly. Very good, very good. The correct answer is Al-Muwatta. All right, top 5 staying the same. Let's keep it moving. Question 14, true or false? Al-Muwatta became mandatory study in every masjid, in every community across the Ummah. Very good, very good. This is something Dr. Shadi mentioned clearly that Harun al-Rashid wanted to make the Muwatta mandatory study, but Imam Malik refused because he said every area has its scholars and they should follow the scholars of the area. Excellent. Uh, top 5 staying the same. Everyone got it right. Let's keep it moving. What was one of the unique aspects of the methodology used by Imam Malik? Very good. Actions of the people of Medina. And just a quick point on the last question. Imam Malik didn't want his book to become mandatory study. That actually shows that's an example of the wisdom of our scholars and how they have mutual respect for each other. And then for this one, yeah, Dr. Shadi mentioned that the actions of people of Medina is a literal translation. But what that specifically means is the sort of rulings and practices of the first 3 generations of the people in Medina, meaning the Sahaba, the Tabi'in, the Tabi'in, as well as public displays of Islam in Medina, since so many of the people in Medina were from the families of Sahaba who lived in Medina. Very good. So, ooh, top 5 shaking up a little bit. Top 3 staying pretty consistent. Let's see if the comers and Ichman can catch the El Khuga team. Question 16. In which regions are Malik's school of thought prevalent today? Very good. Couple of guesses, but the correct answer is all 3 of Middle East, North Africa, and West Africa. And this was something I believe Dr. Shadi mentioned towards the end of the video. Ooh, top three, changing the top three and the top five. Comers are still right behind El Kuga team. Kind of the opposite story from last week. Question 17. Which of the following was a prominent student of Imam Malik? Ooh, a couple of guesses again. The correct answer is Imam Shafi. Imam Abu Hanifa again was a contemporary of Imam Malik, meaning they lived roughly around the same time. And Abu Yusuf was actually one of Imam Abu Hanifa's students. And then Imam Shafi uh, studied under Imam Malik as well as a couple other teachers as well. Still a bunch of changes in the top five, top two staying the same. About 1,000 points separating first from second place. Question 18. Imam Shafi was born blank years after Hijrah. Ooh, decent amount of guesses here, but the correct answer is 150. Imam Shafi was born in the year 150 after Hijrah. Ooh, top two got this question wrong, so a couple of teams in the top five are now catching up. It's a close race. Question 19. At what age did Imam Shafi memorize the Quran? Very good. Again, a couple of guesses, but the correct answer was 7 years old. MashaAllah, he memorized it at a very young age. Uh, top three got the answer right there. Starting to build a little bit of the gap from the rest of the field. Question 20. Which book from the previous scholars did Imam Shafi memorize? Or Shafi? Excellent, excellent. He memorized Imam Malik's book, Al-Muwatta. All right. Seems like majority of the teams got that right. Let's keep it moving. Question 21. At what age was Shafi'i considered a mufti? Very good. The correct answer is 14. So Imam Shafi'i, he memorized the Quran at 7. He memorized the Muwatta at age 10. And then he actually memorized a lot of poetry, over I think 3,000 verses or so, was what Sheikh Ashur mentioned, around the age of 11 or 12. And then around the age of 14, 15, he was considered a mufti. So even from a very young age, he was a very solid student of knowledge and scholar. Oh, accidentally skipped the leaderboard again. Question 22. When Imam Shafi stayed at their house, the daughter of Imam Ahmed noticed that he did all of the following except. Ooh, a decent amount of guesses. So the story behind this one is very interesting. Imam Shafi and Imam Ahmed, they had a lot of respect for each other. Eventually, Imam Ahmed invited Imam Shafi to stay at his house one night, and uh, Imam Ahmed told his kids to observe Imam Shafi, and then essentially what they observed was that, okay, he ate a lot of food at dinner, he did not wake up for the night prayers, and he did not make wudu for Fajr. So the daughter asked her father, Imam Ahmed, like, you told us to observe and we didn't observe. This is what we observed. We don't know if these are good traits or not. So Imam Ahmed went and he asked Imam Shafi, what were the reasons? And so he explained the reason he ate a lot of food is because he knew that the food in Imam Ahmed's house was halal and it was earned through halal means, right? Halal money. So he felt comfortable eating a lot of it because he knew it was good food to eat. He mentioned he did not wake up for the night prayers because he actually didn't even go to sleep. He stayed awake pondering a hadith and he came to many, many, many different conclusions about that hadith. And then because he didn't go to sleep, he didn't lose his wudu, and that's why he didn't make wudu when Fajr came in. So it's a sort of a beautiful story showing sort of uh, the wisdom that Imam Shafi had, and as well as the curiosity of Imam Ahmed and his family to learn from him. All right, question. Okay, leaderboard is shaking up a bit. The Khuga team seems to still be in the lead. Question 23. We're about halfway through, still plenty of time. Where did Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal's family originate from? Which city or area? Still a couple of guesses. The correct answer was Basra. His family originated from Basra. Okay, let's keep it moving. top three got the question right. Question 24. How old was Ahmed ibn Hanbal when he started teaching and giving fatwas, which are sort of religious rulings? Couple of tricky questions, I guess. The correct answer is 40. Um, and yeah, I believe it's something that Dr. Ahmed mentioned. I'm not remembering. I skipped the leaderboard again. Let's just move straight into question 25. Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal was an imam in fiqh only. Very good, false. And this is something again mentioned in the video. Uh, Dr. Ahmed mentioned that Imam Shafi had said about Imam Ahmed that he is an imam. An imam here means someone who's at a very high level, not kind of like imam. Imam can mean the imam of the masjid, right? The leader of the masjid. But here it refers to someone who's at a very high level in that field. And Imam Shafi mentioned that Imam Ahmed was an imam in 8 different fields. So that kind of shows his status. MashaAllah. Radiallahu anhum. Okay, very good. Akhuga team is still in the lead. Question 26. Which of the following qualities apply to Imam Ahmed? Very good. Very good. He did not engage in vain talks. He actually didn't like to accept gifts. He was from a poor, I guess, background, and his father actually passed away before he was born, so he could not have traveled with his father. Very good. Let's move along. Question 27. At what age did Imam Ahmed start seeking the knowledge of Hadith? Ooh, a lot of quick answers. Very good. Most of the teams got it right. The answer is 16, and this was when his mother actually encouraged him to seek the knowledge of Hadith. Um, let's keep it moving. Question 28. Imam Ahmad was given the title Imam Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah after which of the following events? Bunch of teams locking their answer. Good. The correct answer was the tribulation of the Quran. The people of the time known as the Mu'tazilites were spreading false ideas regarding the Quran, and Imam Ahmed would go out of his way to counter those ideas and spread the correct message. And in doing so, he was actually tested and tortured even for sticking to the true beliefs. And through this sort of whole event, the title was given to him, Imam Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, which is a great, great honor. All right, top five shaking up a bit. The top two seems to be holding steady. The Khuga team still edging out the Qamar team, Qamar family. Question 29. One of the first teachers Ahmed learned from was the student of Imam. Good, good. So one of Imam Ahmed's teachers, one of his first teachers was the student of Imam Abu Hanifa. Well done. All right, top five staying pretty similar. Let's go on to question 30. The 5 characteristics of true believers, as discussed in episode 10, are mentioned in which surah? Very good. Very good. Most of the teams got it right. The correct answer is Surah Al-Anfal, and it's verses 2 through 4. All right. Leaderboard staying pretty consistent. Let's keep it moving. Actions of the body were mentioned before the actions of the heart in the 5 characteristics of true believers. True or false? Very good, very good. Most of the teams got it. The correct answer is false. And the key here was saying before. The actions of the heart were the ones mentioned before actions of the body. All right. The Khuga team still just edging out the Commerce. Let's see if they can get their revenge from last week. Actions of the heart are superior to actions of the body. Question 33. Very good. Very good. So this is kind of building off of the last question. All right, ooh, changing the top five. Omer family sneaking their way in. Each man is on a comeback streak. Question 33. Which of the following is one of the five characteristics of true believers mentioned in Surah Al-Anfa? Again, these are all from episode 10. Very good, very good. So this question isn't saying that the other choices are, bad characters. Obviously, these are very good, but specifically in the passage that was discussed, one of the characteristics that was mentioned was that they establish prayers. الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ. All right, let's check the leaderboards. Top five staying pretty constant. Al-Khuga team still in front of the Plumbers. Muhammad seemed to be solid in third place. Ichman and Omar fighting for the fourth place spot. Question 34. The following are actions of the heart except. The following are actions of the heart except. Ooh, interesting. So a couple of guesses here. The correct answer is yes, spending from what Allah has brought. And this is kind of directly taken from episode 10. The verses say, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُم. So when Allah is mentioned, their hearts tremble. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. When His verses are recited, it increases their faith. وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And they have complete reliance and trust in Allah. So that was ayah 2. And the speaker mentioned that these are all actions of the heart. And then the next ayah mentioned establishing prayer and spending from what Allah provided, and that those two are actions of the body. Um, and then all five of these are actions or characteristics of true believers. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا. And there's a great reward for people in that category. All right, so Al-Kuga team still holding that top spot. The Comers are trying to catch them. Let's see if they can. About 10, 11 questions or 12 questions to go. Question 35. Which Imam met a companion, Sahabi of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Very good. The correct answer is Imam Abu Hanifa. And of course, he was the first of the Imams, meaning the oldest. So uh, even if you were making an educated guess, that would be the one you would pick. Sorry, I skipped the leaderboard again. My mouse seems to be double clicking. Question 36. Which Imam is said to have been predicted in a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? Excuse me. Very good, Imam Malik. And this is something that Dr. Shadi mentioned very clearly, that the Prophet ﷺ prophesied that there would be a great scholar in the city of Medina. And the scholars and the historians, they say that this hadith refers to Imam Malik, because when he was in Medina, he was by far considered the leader of the scholars, or the most elite of the scholars. All right, most teams got that one right. Let's keep it moving. Question 37. Imam blank used to make dua in sujood for Imam blank. Very good, very good. So Imam Ahmed, he used to make dua for sujood for Imam Shafi, out of respect for him. Um, all right, so top three still holding on to top five still holding on to their positions. Question 38. Imam Malik used to debate frequently. Very good, very good. The correct answer is false. Imam Abu Hanifa is someone who used to, as we mentioned earlier, he used to debate frequently in Aqidah, but Imam Malik, he did not debate at all. The only time he actually debated, or one of the only times, as I believe was mentioned in the video, was when he and Imam Abu Hanifa had a very lengthy discussion or debate to discuss a lot of various different matters. But other than that, he was not in the habit of debating. All right, so most teams got that one right. Very good. Question 39. Which Imam was a Qadi or judge in Yemen and was accused of being unfair? Very good. The correct answer is Imam Shafi, and the way the story went was the ruler in the area in Yemen, in Najran, I believe, was he was sort of corrupt, and so he didn't like Imam Shafi, and so he accused him and sent him to Harun al-Rashid, who was in charge at the time. And Harun al-Rashid had many scholars like near him or with him who would consult him, and they knew Imam Shafi, and they sort of stood up for him and said, no, he's a righteous man, he's a student of knowledge, and this claim cannot be true. So they stood up for him, and yeah, Imam Shafi was not charged of being unfair, or he wasn't. He was deemed not guilty. He was innocent. Uh, so and that was mentioned in the video about Imam Shafi, radiallahu anhu. All right, top five, still saying the same. Will we see any changes in the last few questions? Let's see. Question 40. Abu Hanifa was reported to meet a few Sahabas and also narrated Hadith directly from them. True or false? Ooh, we had about a 50-50 split here. The correct answer is actually false. So Abu Hanifa was reported to meet a few Sahabas. That is true. However, he did not narrate any Hadith directly from them. He would narrate from either their students or perhaps yeah, he would narrate from students or the generation after them, the tabi'in. So this is actually false because the second part of the statement is not true. All right. All right, so the Comers got it right and Khuga didn't, so they're catching up. Muhammad still solidly in third. Ichman and Sikandar family still fighting for that fourth spot. Question 41. Imam Ahmed ibn Hambal was described Imam Shafi as being as important as the blank for the world and blank for the bodies. Ooh, a lot of guesses here. The correct answer was actually sun and health. And yeah, this was a sort of poetic way of Imam Ahmed praising Imam Shafi. Obviously, the sun is extremely important for us, and just as well, the health is extremely important for the body. So he was saying just as important as those things are, Imam Shafi is extremely important. All right, a couple of teams got that one right. Let's keep it moving. Question 42. Imam Shafi used to say, when the scholars are mentioned, blank is the star. Very good, very good. The correct answer is Malik. And hopefully it's kind of clear through some of the questions and the videos that how much respect, mutual respect the imams had for each other. It's something that perhaps we can take lessons from. MashaAllah. Alrighty, so top five still staying consistent. Let's see if any changes can happen in these last few questions. Question 43. The largest compilation of hadith was authored by? Ooh, okay. So Sahih al-Bukhari is probably the most famous, along with Sahih Muslim. But the largest, meaning it had the most hadith in it, was the Musnad of Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal. And so that Ahmed ibn Hanbal is the correct answer choice here. Alrighty, top three got the question right, proving that they deserve to be in the top three positions. Let's see if they can hold their spots. Question 44. Which Imam is credited as the first scholar to organize the fiqh rulings into chapters? For example, purification, tahara, salah, and fasting. All right, a couple of teams got this one right. The correct answer again is Imam Abu Hanifa. He's credited with sort of organizing the chapters of fiqh into these sections in this order. Alrighty. Comers and Al Khuga still fighting for that top spot. Let's see if the Comers can catch them. Muhammad's team still in third place, and Ichman seems to be solidifying their position in fourth place. Question 45. Which of the four Imams traveled the most to collect hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? These are just very good, very good. So if sort of logically, right, if Imam Ahmed's had the biggest collection, then he must have traveled the most in order to gain that large collection of hadith. So well done. all four Imams were actually very well versed in Hadith. All right. So leaderboard staying the same as we go into the final question. The mothers of these scholars dedicated their lives into the upbringing of their sons. There's a couple of choices here. Read them carefully. 2 seconds, 1 second. Oof, nice. So a couple of teams got this. The correct answer is Imam Shafi, Imam Malik, and Imam Ahmed. And what this is specifically referring to is that these three Imams were actually orphans, and so their mothers had to raise them, and they were raised in a way that really emphasized seeking knowledge and as the question said, their mothers dedicated themselves to making sure their sons were brought up in the best of ways, and they had the right teachers and role models and people to help them. And subhanAllah, perhaps that's why they were able to, perhaps that's one of the reasons they were able to achieve the what they did and become well known today. So that concludes our second episode. In third place, we had Muhammad's. In second place, we had the Qamars. And in first place, with 43 out of 46 questions correct, we had the El Khuga team. So they are getting a bit of revenge for last week when the Qamars just beat them out. Congratulations to all the teams. It's not just about, getting on the leaderboard or getting points. The main purpose of this is that we learn together as families. Jazakallah khair for everyone for participating.